Good afternoon, brothers and sisters in Christ and friends. As we enter the hurricane season in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, the question we must answer is, will the difficulties increase, or because we are already in crisis mood, should we better be able to respond to this hurricane season, which has been predicted to be a very active one? We know that the prediction is coming to pass because so far the season has just begun and we have 3 named storms already. So may I suggest the following tips, which I got from Professor Wendell Abel. One, he says, prevent burnout. Be organized in preparing for and dealing with every challenge. If we are not organized, we may experience burnout. Secondly, maintain positive affirmation. We are all in this thing together, and we should therefore avoid negatives. The power of positive thinking is always a blessing. And thirdly, he says structure. We're reminded, he says, do not wait until a disaster is near to stock up on necessities such as food and material for shutters. We know we have this bad habit of waiting until we hear that the storm is even at the door to start rushing to the supermarkets and the hardware stores. And then within a short while, things run out and we're all panicking. And this could be avoided if we just plan properly, knowing that we have a storm every year. Every week when we go to the supermarkets, we could easily just buy 1 or 2 canned foods. Just remember to check the expiry date on them. Make certain that the dates are such that they can be kept for a little while. And we store them in a place where we know this is our emergency food supply. And on a regular basis, we check the expiry dates and utilize those that are soon to expire and replace them with those with later dates. If we do that, then we certainly should be able to avoid the panic. And even with getting materials for building shutters and battening down, again, if we get the materials and have them stored, or like some people have ready-made shutters, then once we have that, we shouldn't have a problem. Now, he went on to suggest that self-care is very important. And self-care involves sleep, exercise, the avoiding of stress, and the diet. Now, these 4 are very, very important to ensure ability to deal with crises. Now, we have to remember there has to be an important balance between all 4. Because if we put all the emphasis on sleep, what Proverbs 24, 33 and 34 will be fulfilled in us, where it says, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man. So it's important to balance sleep and avoiding of stress, exercise, and diet, so that we will be fit and ready to deal with any crisis. Fifthly, he says support matters. In other words, supporting each other, keep in touch with each other, irrespective of the crisis, whether it be COVID or it is the hurricane or Black lives are important. We need to just keep in touch with each other. And then stay calm. Stay calm in chaos. Manage our emotions well. We should not get so excited that we end up doing foolishness. Staying calm in chaos is what is needed to achieve the ideal results. And then finally, he says, survive. Survival is extremely important for self and for others. And so we should be very careful to see to it that we do everything necessary for survival. And with that, I would like to suggest the following hurricane tips. Remember, we hear them all the time, but it's good to repeat them. Batten down windows and doors. And as mentioned earlier on, have your materials for shutters early. Then ensure that water tanks or the equivalent of for storing water, make sure that they're all full and that there is a sufficient supply of food to last everyone in the household for at least 1 week. Ensure that generators are serviced and fuel containers are full. Don't be like the 5 foolish virgins who had oil in their lamps but didn't have extra oil. Make certain that we have backup fuel. And then when it comes to the food stuff in the refrigerators, we know in our refrigerators and our freezers, we have these little knobs that determine the level of freezing, and it should be turned up to maximum in both equipment to the coldest point so that everything is frozen. And if you lose power, at least the frozen things will definitely last longer. Now you should also remove all flying objects from your roof as well as from lying around in the yard, because if not, when the wind takes them, these are likely to cause a lot of damage as they take off. Ensure that all cell phones, telephones, computers, tablets, etc. are fully charged. And remember, having charged them fully, plug them out just before this crisis begins, because if the power goes or the power surges, you could end up with a lot of damage. So to avoid surge, have them plugged out. Then secure medication and important documents to prevent loss or water damage. Keep such in sturdy and waterproof packaging. And then, of course, it's important to get rid of all garbage. Garbage can be a danger in any way you take it. Garbage in the house, garbage in the yard. So get rid of that before the crisis begins. And finally, secure some cash for emergencies after this storm. Why? Access to cash from financial institutions may not be readily available for a little while. And therefore, it's good to have some put aside. As we enter this double crisis, or may I say multiple crisis, with all the demonstrations going on around the world now, let us be wise as serpents and harmless as dogs. Matthew 10:16. And now may I hand back to our chairman, our brother Craig Smith.